Welcome to GTC's Teaching Tidbits. Each episode, we explore a teaching technique, tip, practice, or idea from faculty for faculty. Our current set of episodes focuses on hybrid blended teaching. Today, we have joining with us from Developmental Studies, Tracy Dragoo. Welcome, Tracy. We're glad to have you today.
Thank you for having me.
Would you tell us just a little bit about your teaching background and the formats that you've taught before?
Yes, I started at Greenville Tech in October of 2012. So I hadn't really taught before then. I was writing math textbooks before then, the teacher's editions and things like that. So started in 2012 and began in developmental studies with the 4 courses that we had at the time and face-to-face. And then I did learn how to teach online. There was a program that we went through to get certified to teach online, so I taught online. And then one summer we were tasked with the RTOC, so I've taught that format. That was summer of 2017, if I remember correctly. And I've been teaching that format in the summers each year, and it's really served, I liked how it served the students that had jobs, or if they did have a sickness, or over the summer, you know, sometimes they travel and they were able to still continue with class. So that was kind of cool. So those are the formats that I've taught.
Well, thanks so much, Tracy. And that is the exact reason that you are here today. So we're glad to have you to share your tidbit. Some of you may find yourselves teaching both asynchronously and synchronously online right now or continuing into the future. And the hybrid blended format is taking a different shape depending on the content, the course, the department, etc., which means that there are some classes that are having half the students come to the face-to-face session and the other half of the class is joining virtually simultaneously. And I'm sure that presents a whole new set of challenges that perhaps as instructors we haven't faced before. And that's why we have Tracy here today. Having taught real-time online now for some time, she's going to talk just a little bit about teaching in real-time online, and I'm sure she has plenty of helpful tips for those of us who may find ourselves also teaching in a format similar to that. So Tracy, I'm going to turn it over to you to share your teaching tidbit.
All right. So I did this little graphic to sort of get the idea across of what we're doing. It started out with no masks or anything in the classroom, but so originally I was teaching in the classroom, and there might have been maybe 2 or 3 students that attended virtually. Originally they attended from the other campus. I would teach in the classroom at Barton campus, and the students would attend from the Brazier campus, and they had a tutor over there with them. That was the original plan, and it was so that students, if they wanted to come up to the satellite campuses, they could, and they could have access to a tutor. That's now transitioned into the current times where the students, like you said, half of the students attend in the classroom and they have to wear their masks on campus. The instructor, of course, is also protected. And I use the Smartboard format because it's able to, the students in the classroom can see it clearly, and it transmits in real time to anyone that's attending virtually, which is really nice. And I've always taught it that way using the Collaborate. So it's prepared slides that I use. Not much real time as far as some instructors like to teach directly from the, we use Hawks for our software platform. And you can teach directly from that. It's just a little bit different than using the prepared slides. You'd have to make sure it broadcasts okay. So let's see. So that's kind of the bird's eye view of how it looks, and it's very effective. I like it. I like it a lot. I've liked it all the years that we've done it. Let's see if I can advance. Okay, so and I've actually ramped it up a little bit for this season just because it's so different. And I don't know if you can tell, I tried to throw this together quickly so you can have a visual, but the top part of the screen is showing the RTOC course that I'm currently teaching. And then I'm also keep teaching 2 online courses as well. And I figured it would be nice for them to, if they wanted to attend virtually, they could. So I have given both of the classes the link, all 3 of them actually, but this just shows 2. So in the course content area, I give them a link to the Collaborate tool. And then also in my online class in the course content area, I give them that same link to the Collaborate tool in the other class if they'd like to attend. So students will click there and it brings them to the sessions. And one of the tips that I definitely recommend is setting up recurring sessions, because you can do that with your class times. If it's a Monday, Wednesday, you can set it up for repeating every week on Monday and Wednesday. Mine happens to be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So every day at 9:35 a.m., I'm in the classroom, and students, when they come to this page, would click on the first session and join that, and we're all in there together. And that's whether they're coming from the actual course itself or the online courses. And I've actually had several online students, which is kind of cool as well. And then the other things that I pointed out on this page that are helpful to instructors are the recordings are in the 3 bars at the top left of the screen. You can actually, if you do a recording while you're live streaming, then they'll all be housed right there for you, and you can actually copy and paste those out to students. And then the attendance, if you're in the room, I'll a lot of times just highlight the student if they're attending virtually and mark them if they're physically in the classroom, because for legal reasons you have to document whether or not you have a person physically in your room. So, and this was from day 1. So the what we do if they attend virtually is mark them present in the system and then put the comment virtual so that student records knows that that was a virtual attendance. And all virtual attendance is also in a report under the 3 dots. So it's either 3 dots or 3 lines for the instructors to get to the information that they need. Okay, so that's that page. That's the Collaborate page. Then the other thing that I do personally for my students is I will give them the blank handouts, because of, like I said earlier, I prepare the slides. So I'll give them the blank handouts of what those slides are. And then you're taking notes on the smartboard, and those actually can be saved as PDFs as well. So I will post those for students at the end of class. And then I'm also giving them a link to the Collaborate recording. So for the RTOC course and the online course, they have access to all of it if they want to take notes on some blank ones, if they want to see what we did on the class notes, and if they want to view a recording of the live class. Those are all in course content. And the notes and the blank handouts that I post, just a little other tidbit. You've got the Google Drive. We all have a Gmail account, and you can house anything for students. If your Blackboard is a little bit full, you can put them all in Google Drive and just give them the link in the course, and the students can navigate to that because they all have Gmail addresses as well. And just to show you, there's just kind of an example of what a blank lesson might look like and what one with notes on it looks like as well. So just examples there. And then the recordings, like I showed you with the 3 lines earlier, I actually put that in a document on the Google Drive as well in the notes folder. And just I've got a collection of all of them in there so they can go back, and it's dated. And I've noticed at the beginning I was just kind of putting the recording with the date. I put the lessons on there too now, and I went back and did that before I took this picture. I didn't have what these were, but so just so that you have the idea there. It's just, the idea was to give the student as much not information as I had to give them, since they're having to attend virtually, and everybody's a little nervous about that. Because before it was a choice, and now it's more of a, you have to come one day, or you could come on Monday, but you have to attend virtually on Tuesday. And then you can come on Wednesday, but you have to attend virtually on Thursday. So because of that, you know, just to kind of help people ease into it a little bit. Let me see, I don't remember what else. Oh, for both sets of students as well, I have a YouTube channel in the Google, or that's attached to the Gmail account, with 3 to 6 minute videos, so that when they're at home, they can work on the, they can see an example of the problems that we've worked in class. And it's a little bit more animated and things like that. So I think that's sort of just in the nutshell what we do. Oh, I know what else I wanted to tell you is we use Hawks for all the homework and tests. So they'll attend, we teach the lesson, and then they go home and they're working in the Hawks platform for our particular classes in transitional studies. And this semester we also have all the tests online as well. So we've implemented Honor Lock for that. In the past, when we were doing this format, they all tested in the classroom or the distance testing center if there was an issue with not being able to make it to the classroom. So that was a point that I wanted to just kind of illustrate. And what we do to help with that, since we can use Honor Lock for the high stakes tests and not all of them, we've got a place in Blackboard for them to upload their test work so that you can match it with the work that they enter in Hawks. And we're finding that is an important part of the current format, because the students' work needs to match. And the Honor Lock is great, but it's not foolproof, and you just need that extra step for integrity, just because a lot of times you might not meet your student, especially if it's a fully online student or an RTOC student. They don't ever really have to come to class in the current climate. They could take the entire course from home and just attend virtually. So we put that in there as an extra precaution for testing to help with the integrity. And it works. It's nice because the other one of the requirements of teaching in this format is regular and consistent interaction with students. And it gives both of us an opportunity to get some good feedback and communicate back and forth. So I'm hoping it's a work in progress for the fall. So we're going to see how that's doing. So far, it's pretty good. It is time consuming, I will say that, but it's worth it because at least you feel like you're communicating with each student really. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So that's kind of what it looks like in a nutshell. And I don't remember if I said everything on my list. I'm looking to see. I wanted to kind of give you an idea of how the classroom runs. You know, we've got the board going, and I've got examples up there. And what's really cool is everybody knows that we're doing this now. So sometimes somebody will answer in the classroom, or they'll say, see what the online people are saying. And the online people will be using the chat. And you can obviously hear that if you're doing a collaborate. And sometimes they're, you know, I made a mistake the other day, and the people online were ping, 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 and the people in the classroom are like, see what they're saying. So I went over there, and the guy said, oh, that's supposed to be a +7 and not a -7. And everybody was just like, oh my gosh. So it was really cool to have, they know each other. There's still that sense of community, even though they're distanced like that. And I thought that was a kind of a cool thing. And they know, the people in the classroom know that I'll still interact with them one-on-one if needed. And then I'm constantly saying, okay, I'm going to put this on pause. You guys are working on a problem. And then I'll go over to the computer and chat with some of the students individually if they don't want it broadcast to everybody. So that was something that I thought was another, for shy students, it really helps because they can use the private chat if they want to say, hey, I'm thinking that this might be the answer, but I don't know. And I get that a lot. And I can say, yeah, you're good, you know, and nobody's the wiser. So except for that student who feels a lot better suddenly.
Here at the end, you probably said some of the things that would have come out of questions that I would ask. I loved hearing you say that even in this format, the students are finding a sense of community together. as if they would in a face-to-face class. My one question for you, because you gave so much great information and good examples here at the end, would be if looking back from the time that you started, even up till now, currently, what would be one of the biggest challenges that you faced with having that going on real time with half the class there and half the class online? What is one of the biggest challenges you faced, and how have you worked through that to kind of overcome that particular challenge?
I would say the challenge with it being live like that is those ones that are attending virtually, not everyone has the greatest internet, and they'll have those connections that lose. And you can see that on your, on Blackboard, and then you can contact that student individually afterwards and say, hey, what's going on? I mean, I've actually gotten in touch with one student who is telling me AT&T's coming out, and they're, trying to fix the connection. So that they can be there live, because it means a lot to them to interact. They can go back and look at the recording, which is nice, but it really means more to them if they can be on there live interacting. And that's the biggest challenge. We had the issue on campus as well with where a lot of campus housing students weren't able to connect live. There was an issue there. That's all been resolved, and each student, like, just with working with them individually and asking, kind of cheering them on with, get the cable company out there, because maybe we can fix this and upgrade, something for you. And that, it seems to be working, and that's not only for the classroom, but it also is for testing, because they need an uninterrupted service. And I think that's the biggest challenge for the students at this point, would be that they don't really need a camera. They just need to be able to view everything live and interact live if possible with an internet connection.
Well, great. Thank you so much. That was there was so much here that you shared with us that will be helpful as people come back and look through the video as well. So we're so glad to have you here today. That was wonderful, Tracy.
I appreciate it.
Well, if you want to continue the conversation with Tracy, I'm sure she'd be more than happy to talk with you about any questions that you have about anything that she said or ideas that you have moving forward. You can email her at the email address that I have here on the screen, tracy.dragoo@gvltec.edu. And if you have any questions you'd like answered or specific topics that you'd like to see covered in the series, please reach out and let me know. We want to make sure that we're bringing you content that will be helpful to you, and you can just email me at rachel.cobb@gvltec.edu. And as always, if you have a teaching tidbit worth sharing, or you know someone who does, please contact me, and we want to get you or them in here as part of the series. Well, that's this week's GTC Teaching Tidbit, and we'll see you next time.